Just like Rigathi Gachagua went, it now appears there is somebody else, mtu mkubwa, another big man, on their way out. Indeed, maybe they are already out. It's just a matter of time. It is now becoming very clear that Moses Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, anaenda. Okay? And though it is being done, it is definitely not the way Rigathi Gachagua was done. No. Friends, this is not a Juakali operation like that earlier one. This one is technical and heavily involves the Azimio top-notch lawyers. We'll come to that. Okay? Because that is not really the big news. No way. The big news is that the Raila Ruto top secret plan has been exposed. Oh yes. And now we even have concrete evidence of what these two leading politicians in the country called Kenya are really up to. And the way it has come to light is through a politician who has built up a reputation of spilling the beans, the political beans, before the time is ripe. Yeah, this man has that reputation. A man called Moses Kuria, who a few hours ago made it plain, made it official that this thing is indeed happening. And that is the hot topic of my show today. Karibuni sana, a very warm welcome. Now before we proceed, please allow me to mention yet again our very generous sponsors, LemFi. I am telling you, these are very serious Kumekucha fans, as they have proved. LemFi, of course, is a service which you can use to send money to your loved ones. And it has a lot of advantages. Plenty of advantages. Not only that, if you use my code, proving that you heard about them from me, KUMEKACHA, yeah, you'll be able to get a cashback reward on your first transaction. So go for it. And please don't forget to let me know how it goes. Right. It has been suspected all along that there has been a secret handshake, a very detailed agreement between the people's president, Raila Amolo Odinga, and President William Samoei Ruto. It has been suspected. And indeed we have seen a lot of evidence. And there has been a lot of speculation as to what the deal really is. Well, recently, with the Rigathi Gachagua impeachment, it became clear that indeed, I know many people don't want to hear this, but this is a fact. It became clear that UDA are working with ODM very closely. And this is despite the narrative, the constant rhetoric, oh, we're still in the opposition, or there are some people who have joined government, some people have not joined government, etc., etc. Okay? But now, we have something concrete to work with. You know, this handshake between Raila and Ruto is one of the strangest political unions I have ever come across in all my years of analyzing politics. It is the kind of chini ya maji handshake that has left many Kenyans very confused, extremely confused. Please allow me to illustrate it with a real life story, so that we totally understand what this strange handshake is all about. There was a time in my marriage, some years back, when me and my late wife went through a very fascinating time. You see, what had happened is that my in-laws, actually just one of them, had changed their minds a few years into the marriage. Yani, after a number of years of recognizing me as a son-in-law, they suddenly changed their minds. You see, these are people who rely heavily on juju. Yeah, there's some Kenyans who are like that, and it is difficult to change them. And their daughter came up with a plan. And although initially I was very hesitant, I was wondering what's this all about, finally I agreed to the plan. Actually a crazy plan. And for almost 6 months, we pretended we were not together. Indeed, at one point, she put her phone on speakerphone, and I could hear how delighted one of my in-laws was, being convinced that it was all over, that we were no longer husband and wife. But of course it was not possible to keep on fooling them for such a long time. And in the end, they found out that actually there was a secret handshake going on. But I think the intention of the person who came up with the idea was to send a clear message to them. And if that was it, it worked. Because after they found out what was going on, they cooled off. And the whole crisis blew over. And they even started being friendly. And suddenly, everything was okay. But being the curious journalist I am, I did some research and came up with some information that blew my mind. I was informed that if you marry in a certain county in Ukambani, and especially in a certain village, this is very normal. Believe it or not. Anyway, I believe that illustrates perfectly what has been going on between Ruto and Raila. A lot of play acting, fooling us the public. But in reality, whenever push came to shove, it was very clear, especially with the Rigathi Gachagua impeachment, that these two people are one and they are working together. Very, very strange handshake, this one. But the important thing to note is that this handshake is real. Oh, it is so real. In my opinion, it is even more real and more effective than the handshake between Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Oh yes. The only difference is that you will not see, for instance, Ruto attending Raila's birthday party, birthday bash, somewhere in Mombasa, and being fed the birthday cake. That one you will never see. However, this handshake, my friends, ogopa, because it is going somewhere. Oh yes, it is going somewhere where the Raila Uhuru handshake never went and never planned to go, in my opinion. And now we can make some earth-shattering, earth-moving conclusions. Are you ready? Number one, the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua was instigated by this handshake. Now, I know DM people have said even on the floor of the house that this business does not concern us. But I can tell you today to tell them, tell that to the birds. Gachagua's impeachment, it is now clear that the whole plan, the whole handshake plan between Ruto and Raila involved the removal of Rigathi Gachagua. He was an obstacle and had to be removed for this handshake to go forward. Okay? That should be clear. The planned removal of Moses Wetangula from the Speaker's chair is also because of this handshake. And if we're to believe the rumors that we had a long time ago, before we even took this story of Wetangula being removed seriously, if we're to believe those rumors, then Wetangula is going to be replaced by ODM people. Okay? And a few names have been thrown around, especially that of a prominent lawyer called Otiende Amolo. Okay? We can also conclude now very confidently that the sudden halt of the Gen Z protests was because of this handshake, and it was engineered by influential Raila Amolo Odinga and the ODM party. Okay? Let us not lie to ourselves, because when we have all the cold facts on the table, analysis becomes easy, and it is very easy to cross-check the facts, even with the rumors, and confirm exactly what is going down here. Okay? It is not something many Kenyans will like. It is not something people will cheer on. But my friends, I'm afraid it is the reality. It is the political reality. We are being played by the political class. And the political class, very sadly, includes your hero, Raila Amolo Odinga. That is the very brutal truth. Take it or leave it. Now just be a bit patient. We will get to this bombshell that was released, in fact, just a few hours ago, by a man called Moses Kuria. Okay? Now, the way Wetangula is being removed is very interesting. Yeah, because it is tapping into the expertise. You know, ODM has the most influential, sharpest legal minds in the country. Nobody can deny that. Okay? And it is very clear that the top legal minds at ODM are being used to execute the removal of Wetangula. And in my opinion, where they have started, it will be very easy for them to remove Wetangula, because they have raised the very strong legal argument that the declaration of Kenya Kwanza as the majority party in parliament was illegal, unconstitutional, cannot stand up in law, which I believe most Kenyans already know is a fact. I mean, it should be rather obvious that it is not the work of the speaker to declare the majority party in parliament. I mean, that should be very obvious, even for somebody who has not read law. I mean, this thing is very clear. It is not a matter of the speaker declaring. It is a matter of counting. It's as simple as that. Yeah? How many MPs are in Kenya Kwanza in parliament? You put the number down. How many MPs from Azimio are in parliament? You put that number down. And then the number tells you which particular coalition is the majority in the house. But that is not what happened. What happened is that it is a speaker's illegal ruling, yeah, that decided which one is the majority party. And please don't forget, that ruling was key, yeah, because that ruling influenced members of parliament who were on the Azimio side to cross over to the majority side. And so it is rather obvious, before they even go into any other legal matters, any other legal things they want to use to bring down Wetangula, that one already is enough to remove Wetangula, in my opinion. Bottom line, Wetangula is already gone. Okay? He's gone. It's just a matter of time. Because, remember, this time round, Azimio lawyers will have no problem, yeah, pushing forward their legal arguments, because Ruto's side of the handshake are not going to block them. In fact, they're going to assist them. So that one, imeenda, it's gone. Okay? Now, Moses Kuria tells us, this is quite something, that the secret plan all along is that a coalition is being built that is similar to the Rainbow Coalition of 2002 that removed Mighty Kanu from power. Okay? What exactly does he mean? Okay, Without going into a long history lesson, let me summarize it very briefly. The problem in 2002 is that there are some people who had abandoned Moi and Kanu but could never, ever join Kibaki's Democratic Party. Yani, it was politically impossible. And so, the problem was solved like this. Those people who are leaving Kanu joined another party, a brand new opposition party called LDP. And the man behind that party was also a man leaving Kanu at that time called Raila Odinga. Because Raila Odinga at the time was the Secretary General of the Kanu party. And therefore, after LDP gathered, in their corner, very far away from the opposition, very far away from Mwai Kibaki or Charity Ngilu or Kijana Wamalwa, the late, after they gathered, Mwai Kibaki and the rest of the opposition met them on middle ground and they decided to form the National Rainbow Coalition. Now what that meant is that these ex-Kanu MPs campaigned in their respective areas without the baggage of the opposition. And then the opposition campaigned in their strongholds while completely ignoring the former Kanu strongholds. I'm sure you get it. That was the National Rainbow Coalition. Fast forward to the present. UDA will campaign in their strongholds without the baggage of Raila Odinga and company. And ODM will also campaign in their strongholds without the baggage of Ruto or UDA. But the two will be in a grand coalition that will sweep the board and win the general election. That is what the plan is. Now, of course, the question that comes to mind is who is going to be the presidential candidate? And my answer to that question will surprise most. It will not matter. Why? Because we are going back to the BBI. Some of us will remember one of the reasons why Ruto fought the BBI so hard with everything he had was because the whole plan behind the BBI was to reduce the powers of the presidency so that it mattered less who was president. Okay? Now with this new arrangement, they're even going to go further so that it will not matter at all who is sitting at State House. Okay? Power will be well and truly shared so that whoever is president will not be able to do anything without consulting widely with his political high table. And of course that political high table, mchanganyiko maalum, to use old Kiswahili. That high table will be a Kenyan matatu carrying all kinds of characters from all kinds of corners of the country called Kenya. Okay? A matatu high table. That, my friends, is the plan. And I believe Moses Kuria made it very clear in his remarks that indeed that is the plan. But in my opinion, it will not work. Okay? Why will it not work? Because Kenya is a very different country. The political class are sure that they have this. The political class are sure that they really understand Kenya. And they know what to do. And they know that people can make noise. Even Kumekucha Chris can make noise. It will be like kelele ya chura, sa ile ng'ombe na kunywa maji. When the cows are at the drinking hole, there may be also a lot of frogs around, making so much noise. But that does not stop the cows from drinking the water. That is the approach. That is the thinking of the political class. But in my opinion, they are in for the shock of their lives. A vast majority of these people in the political class will never see elective office again. Never ever. This time Kenyan voters have learned a lesson. And those who vote, if they vote, are not going to vote for any old faces from the old political class. No way. And that is what is going to defeat this master plan of Ruto and Raila. Indeed, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many, we will not even get to 2027 because they're still preparing. In their minds, they're still putting a lot of things in place in preparation for 2027. But who says we'll get to 2027? We will never get to 2027. And that is why there are some very interesting political times ahead of us as Kenyans. I'm sure many of you will agree with me. Now, very quickly before I go, this has to be the absolutely last call for my special offer on a highly sensitive special report I have produced, on a character bang in the middle of the UDA powerhouse, FK. Now, this is a highly sensitive special report. It has a lot of information that will make your eyes pop. Oh yes. And I'm certain it will help anybody understand a lot about where we are politically as a country. Now you can see details on your screens right now. For only Kenya shillings 1,999, you will not only have this latest highly sensitive special report, but you'll also have all the other previous ones in case you've missed all of them or in case you've missed some of them. Okay, the details are also repeated in the description area below this video on YouTube and also in the comments area. I highly recommend it. When the kipindi chalala salama, please take full advantage because this may be your very last chance to do so. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.